Hi, Oak Ridge students and families. My name's Allie and I'm a trainer for Recycling Superheroes. So I'm here today to teach you how to become recycling superheroes. And we can learn together all the different things that are on my table, where they go. So the world is celebrating Earth Day today, but recycling superheroes know that Earth Day is every day and we can celebrate it by our everyday actions. So our planet needs more recycling superheroes, and anyone can become one with a little practice. So I'm so excited you're joining me, and you can ask me questions throughout the session, and I'll see them pop up and I'll answer them as I see them. Or if you have questions after one comes to your head, just feel free to write it in the comment box and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Now let's get started. All right, so recycling superheroes work hard to stop waste in its place and recycle right. So the first lesson we all need to learn as recycling superheroes is why recycling is so important. So all our stuff comes from somewhere. Paper comes from trees. An aluminum can comes from something called bauxite ore found underground. Our glass is made from sand. And plastic is made from oil found underground. Pretty cool. So to make all these resources, we have to use energy. We have to cut down trees and mine and drill for these things to make something from scratch. But if we make something from a recycled product, we save energy and resources, and we're creating less air and water pollution, which is great. So recycling is good for our planet, it helps us, and it helps other people and animals we share it with. And I have a fun fact for you. Did you know recycling one aluminum can can save enough energy to power a TV for 2 hours? Wow, recycling is really important. And another fun fact, both aluminum and glass, when you recycle them, they're infinitely recyclable. Does anyone know what infinitely means? Forever. So that's why it's so important to make sure our recyclables don't end up in the trash, so we're not wasting all the resources and energy it used to make them. And it's important to also buy items made with recycled content to support recycling. Pretty cool. So the second thing we're going to learn as recycling superheroes is what happens to our recycling. So have you ever thought about where your recycling and trash go after they leave your house? I think I might have seen the trash and recycling truck outside my house pick up my trash and recycling, but where did it go after that? So I used to think it went to a place called Away, but turns out I was wrong. The trash for most of our homes is picked up in a truck and brought to something called a landfill. So I have a picture of what a landfill looks like. You can see that, there's a little bit of a glare. A landfill is a huge pit that's been dug in the ground to hold trash. There we go. So once the pit is full, dirt is used to cover the trash, and the landfill becomes a place where this trash will be kept forever. So if bottles, cans, and paper were accidentally put in our trash, they're never sorted out and they live at this landfill forever. So we don't want that, do we? No, we want to save our recycling so we can make something new. So we're still throwing away a lot of paper, bottles, and cans each year. Just the paper and the aluminum cans alone, we're throwing away the weight of almost 119,000 elephants. So the world really needs our help to know what goes where. Now that we've learned where our trash goes after it leaves our house, we want to learn about what happens to the items we put in our recycling bin at home. So these items go on a longer journey. Recyclables are picked up on a truck and brought to a recycling sorting facility. And there's a link that I put on the video, or on the live stream, where you can watch a video from a sorting facility right here in the Twin Cities to see all the different steps up close and personal that these recyclables go through. Pretty cool. So once recyclables get to the sorting facility off the recycling truck, they're put on something called the tipping floor. I'm going to walk close so you can see these pictures. So here's the tipping floor. So all our recyclables are dumped onto the tipping floor. There we go. And so it's just a big space for the recyclables to go. And once they're put on the tipping floor, the recycling is put onto conveyor belts. And on these conveyor belts, they get sorted by people and machines into categories: paper, plastics, glass, and metal. Materials are then squeezed into giant cubes called bales. And there's separate bales for paper, for plastics, for glass, and for metal. So here's an example of a paper bale. You can see it on that truck. And why it's on the truck, aluminum can bale, we can't pick up these bales ourselves. This bale of aluminum cans, just one of these, weighs more than 1,000 pounds. Pretty heavy. So we need a lot of help to lift these. So once we have them on the bales, they're able to be stacked for easy storage and sold to be made into new products. Pretty awesome. So our paper bale will go to something called a paper mill to be made into new paper. Glass can become another glass bottle forever, just like our aluminum can. So valuable. And then our plastics get sorted into different categories depending on the type of plastic it's made from, and they go to different places to be melted down and remade into items like furniture. This is an example of what my milk jug might have made. It's just a hard plastic that I can make anything out of, a park bench or a deck chair. Pretty cool. You might even have playground equipment at your school or at your house on your deck that's made from recycled plastic. It can be made into that. It can be made into t-shirts. It can even be made into carpet. So plastic can be made into a bunch of different items. Did you know that 25 of these recycled plastic bottles can make one fleece jacket? Pretty awesome. So behind me I have a review for us to look at, if we can all see. So we have, you know what, I'm going to bring this close so we can really see it up close and personal. So this is just a review of what we talked about. Where does our stuff go? First, we put it in the recycling bin. It leaves our house or school in a recycling truck to be sorted at the recycling facility by machines and people, to be made into new products once it's separated out by categories and shipped out to those places. And then when we purchase recycled products, recycling is made into something new. And when we are done with our product, we put it back in the recycling bin and the process starts all over again. But when we don't recycle a product, the process stops because it ends up in the landfill and the recycling doesn't get sorted out of the trash. So we really want to make sure we're putting recycling in the right place and recycling right. And oftentimes, because recycling is so great, we mean well by throwing a lot of items into the recycling, hoping it can be recycled. But just because we really want something to be recycled really bad, doesn't mean when we put it in the recycling container, it will magically get recycled. We call that wish cycling because we're really wishing that it were true. But when we contaminate the recycling, it actually makes our recycling less valuable and potentially could cause our clean recycling to not be able to be recycled and makes it harder for everyone. So we really want to make sure that we're keeping our recycling clean. One example of why that's a problem, the picture here, this is a picture of plastic bags at a recycling facility. All of those plastic bags are wrapped around the machinery. So at the recycling facility, most recycling facilities have to shut down their facility every day for 2 hours to cut off all of these bags that are wound around the equipment. So we want to make sure when we're recycling that we're either using a paper bag or we're not using a bag at all in our recycling. And if we do have a plastic bag, we're putting it in the trash, right? Not the recycling, even though we really want it to be recycled. We'll talk a little more about plastic bags because there is another solution for them too. So it's up to you to learn what goes where so you can help keep recycling clean. And when in doubt, What do? Leave it out, right? Awesome. So lastly, as recycling superheroes, we have to know what can be recycled, right? So everyone repeat after me. Bottles, cans, paper. We're gonna do it one more time. Are you ready? Bottles, cans, paper. Yes, great job. So glass and plastic bottles, metal cans, and paper, including cardboard boxes, are the best things to recycle. So I need some help to figure out what goes where, because I have a bunch of things on my table, and we're gonna sort this out together, okay? So let's start with our paper and our recycling bin. So, a bunch of different samples here. So I have my Annie's Fruit Snacks, which I love very much. I'm gonna recycle this box, but first before I recycle it, I'm gonna make it flat. So it saves space in my bin and for those workers on the line. So fruit snack boxes, boxes from my cupboard can be recycled, like crackers and cereal boxes. And I made sure to remove the plastic bag from inside of here, put that in the trash, and now I can recycle my boxes. Awesome. What other paper do I have? I have my newspaper, old news, recycle that. I might have some homework that I'm done with, have a little post-it note on it. That's okay for recycling. I have my envelope back here. Plastic windows are okay, so we can put that right in the bin. Oh, I have another box that I forgot about, my Kleenex box, so I can recycle that, as well as my magazine that I'm done reading. Oh, and my piece of cardboard. So this is really valuable stuff. Have to make sure that this gets recycled. I think I cleared up all my paper. All right, let's head into cartons next. See what kinds of cartons I can recycle. So I have my juice carton and my almond milk carton. These can be recycled, and I can even leave my caps on these containers, and we should leave our caps on these containers for recycling. Don't take the caps off and throw them in separate, because they can't be recycled that way. They have to stay on the containers. So recycle my cartons, and then I have a lot of milk cartons at school, which are very great for recycling. And I have my juice box here too, but one thing, does anybody notice anything about this juice box that I need to do before I put it in the recycling? You're right, I have my straw. Forgot about my straw. So I have to take my straw out and put my straw in the trash. And now I can put my juice box in the recycling. Awesome job. Okay, next we're gonna talk about our metal containers. So I have my food metal container here. It held my beans. I might have had a lid in there. In order to make sure that the lid stays in, I put the lid and I squeeze it tight. Now it can't shake out, and I can put that in the recycling so it doesn't cut anyone. I have my aluminum can here too. Infinitely recyclable. What does that mean? Forever. Got to make sure to put this can in here, because in 100 years, if I keep recycling cans, this same can could be around. That's really cool. So don't want to waste such a valuable resource like that. Now we're going to move on to glass. I have my beverage container, my Izzy bottle, and I also have my glass food container. Both of these are recyclable, and I can leave my metal lids on, remember, caps on, and put these in the recycling. Just make sure they're clean and they're empty. Awesome. And now my last category is plastic. So plastics are often marked by a number on the bottom of the container. The numbers they indicate what kind of plastic the container is made from. It doesn't necessarily mean it's recyclable, because the number in the triangle could be on any plastic product. So even plastic bags could have a number. So we really want to make sure that we're looking at what it is, not just at the number. And only recycling plastic bottles, containers, and jugs with numbers 1, 2, and 5. So my plastic bottle's okay. Got my cap on, ready to recycle. Have my milk jug. This is great for recycling. It's empty, ready to go. What else do I have? I got my berry container, empty, ready to recycle. And my yogurt cup. What do I notice about this yogurt cup that I need to do before I recycle? It's all empty of yogurt, so it's okay to put in the recycling. But I can take my lid off, put the lid in the trash, and recycle my yogurt cup. And then I left these two out because I wanted to remind us, don't forget about areas outside of your kitchen for recycling, because there's valuable recyclables in the laundry room, our laundry detergent jug, my Cap's-On, and also in the bathroom. So my shampoo or my conditioner bottle, these can be recycled too. So don't want to forget to put those in the blue bin. Awesome, so we cleaned up all our recycling. Great job. And remember when recycling, when in doubt, throw it out. So no more hoping or wishing that an item is recyclable. If you don't know if it's recyclable, don't recycle it. And focus your attention on getting all the bottles, cans, and paper in the recycling. If you really want to know where it goes, I'm going to share a resource called the Green Guide with you at the end, and it'll help you figure out where that item goes for the future. So now the last things on my table are things I want to remember not to recycle. So we're going to go through each of these. My plastic bags, as we talked about earlier, remember they get wound up in the machinery at the recycling facility. They have to spend all that time cutting them out, so we really want to make sure that plastic bags stay out of the recycling. So plastic bags either need to go into the trash, or you can collect plastic bags separately in your house to be brought to a drop-off for recycling. They're in most grocery stores and Target and Walmart and other retail stores as well. So if you collect them separately and bring them somewhere separately, they can be recycled, just not in your bin at home or at school. So I'm going to set this aside actually to be brought for drop-off recycling. Now I want to make sure when I recycle my bottle that I didn't have any liquids in there. So I made sure to empty out all my liquids, put my cap back on, and recycled it. Because if it has liquids in it, it can't be recycled. Same with food. So pizza boxes can be recycled, but not if pizza's still in it. So it needs to be sure to be empty of the food, and then I can put it in the recycling. Another thing to think about for caps, if we have loose caps, they can't be put in the recycling loose. They have to be attached to a container. And that's because when it gets to the recycling facility, it just falls, all the loose caps just fall through the machinery and don't get recycled. So if you end up having a loose cap, forgot to attach it to your bottle, put that in the trash as well. Chip bags and candy wrappers. I have my chips and my fruit snack wrapper. Yes, these are made from plastic, but even though they're made from plastic, doesn't mean they're recyclable. These need to go in the trash. Black plastic. So there's actually lasers at recycling facilities, which you can see in the video a little better, but they can't read this type of plastic yet. So that's why recycling, we're always changing as technology gets better, but right now the lasers can't see through the black, so it becomes a contaminant, and we want to leave this out of the recycling. Even if it has a number on the bottom, we need to remember, numbers don't always mean it's recyclable. Think about what it is as well. So black plastic goes in the trash. Napkins. So napkins are actually made from paper that's been recycled 7 or 8 times already. So the fibers in the paper are just too short, not like glass and aluminum that it can just be recycled forever. They get shorter and shorter. So this napkin's already been on a really long journey and it's tired. So think about when a napkin gets wet, it just falls apart. So that's what happens when it gets to the paper facility. So napkins don't need to go in the recycling. They're trash. They're contaminated at the recycling facility. So make sure our napkins go in the trash unless we have a compost program. And then lastly, I have 2 things left. I have my foam cup. So this is commonly called styrofoam. So foam cups or plates or peanuts. Numbers don't necessarily mean it's recyclable, remember. So this has a number 6 on the bottom. That only tells me what kind of plastic it is. Styrofoam goes in the trash always. So my styrofoam cup in the trash. And then my plastic utensils and straw. Say I have something that's made from plastic. What is it? Not necessarily recyclable. So this is too small to be sorted out and it can't be recycled. And look at that, it's black too. Double whammy. so it needs to go in the trash. All right, and then my last thing I wanted to talk about are batteries. So batteries I have here because they're actually starting fires at the recycling facilities when people accidentally put them in their recycling bin at home or at school. So we want to really make sure to keep batteries out of the recycling, and they can be brought to the recycling zone in Eden to be recycled for free and made into something new. So I'm going to set these by my plastic bag for a drop-off recycling. Awesome, we got through all our samples, so everything's sorted. Great job. So remember, the actions we take each and every day matter and have the power to make a really big difference for our planet. So now that we've learned all about recycling, you're officially certified recycling superheroes. Woohoo! Our mission as recycling superheroes is to always recycle right and to help others think before they throw by spreading the word to our family and to our friends to learn what goes where. So as Oak Ridge students, I know we learn, live, and lead. So now that we've learned all about recycling, we're going to live out what we've learned by recycling right every day and lead others to doing the same. So I really hope that my future recycling superheroes can help our planet, and we are going to go out and do this every day because we know it's important, and we're going to save all of the resources and energy to make sure to keep our recyclables out of the trash and our recycling contamination free. Awesome. So now that we've been through all of these samples, I wanted to tell you about our Dakota County Green Guide in case you or your family have questions. You can go onto our website, dakotacounty.us, and search Green Guide, and you can type any item in there and it'll pop up for where it should go. So that can help you sort if you have a question or aren't sure where it should go. Remember, no wish cycling, so we need to figure out what goes where, and it'll help you decide where and how to recycle right. So happy 50th Earth Day, everyone. Let's make everyday Earth Day now that we're recycling superheroes, and we can wear a cape and go out into the world and spread the message of recycling to keep recycling right. So I'm going to see if I have any questions here. Bottles, cans, paper, yay! And great, yes. You can keep them on the glass container. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining me, Oak Ridge, and if anyone has any other questions, I will answer them as they come through. And I hope everyone has a chance to watch the video as well to learn all about what happens to recycling at the facility, and you can see it in a video, up close and personal. Thanks again, Oak Ridge. Have a great rest of your day. Happy Earth Day!